Everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me properly. I can see people have joined in. So do let me know if you can see me properly in the chat. Hello, people. Hi, Mona Lisa. So you guys can hear me properly, see me properly? Okay. Okay. Great. Great. How is everybody doing? It's Friday. Almost the weekend is upon us. Hi, Shivani. Hello, Parvati. Glad to see people join in. Hi, guys. Sounds clear. Okay. Hi, Ekta. Okay. So the sound and all is clear, and I hope people are enjoying. It's Friday, so almost start of the weekend. And those who have kids, they are having a great summer vacation, I hope. Hi, Purnima. Okay, so today we have a live, and in this live, we'll be making a art journal page. Normally, last live, for those of you who missed, we made one card and one art journal page, and a lot of you had been liking us doing art journal page. So I thought, my first single live, let's do an art journal page because I thought because that's what resonates with the people who are following us, and it made sense. And from next week onwards, we'll have even more variety of projects. And next week, we are also going to have one Crafty Gupshup with Parvati, so I hope you are all excited for that. And I'll just change the camera perspective so that you can see what's on my table. So for those of you who missed out our last live, we made since the live was on Saturday and Sunday, it was Mother's Day. We made this Mother's Day card. This live is still available on our Instagram page. So for those of you who missed out, you can definitely check that out. And we made this Mother's Day page using these leftover die cuts. So these are the two things that we made in our last live. So Ekta, on the monthly challenge, if you see on the 1st of every day and on 15th of every day, we do a post on our Instagram where all the rules are given. On top of my mind, what major rules are there is you have to make something using Craft Angles products. Anything like, if you are a watercolor artist, you can use a watercolors. If you're an acrylic artist, you can use acrylics. If you're a decoupage artist, you can use a decoupage, Craft Angles, card making products, mixed media products, so on and so forth. But the idea is to use Craft Angles products, and you have to tag us using, there are, I think, couple of hashtags. There are 3 hashtags that you have to use, and you have to tag both our accounts, which is Craft Angles and Craftadda, and mention what are the products that you have used in making your project. And we always get like a couple of around 20-30 entries every month at least, and based on what our designers feel that which is a good project, our internal team, we decide on the winner. And I think on every first of the next month we announce the winner. So that is our Instagram monthly challenge. And we also have our blog monthly challenge where it follows a theme. So I think there is last month it was reuse. So it was reusing old products and making something new. And on blog, you don't have a restriction of using Craft Angles product. However, if you have used Craft Angles product, then you get extra brownie points. So we do run two challenges every month, one on blog and one on Instagram. Again, if you check our blog post on first, either our blog post or our Instagram post, you'll get each and every detail in, like, it's written out in detail for you, so that you know there is no chance of you getting confused as to what are the rules. If you still have queries, you can DM us on our Facebook page or Instagram page, and we can provide you the link with all the details. Or if you have any queries, we can help you answer them. Hi, Deepti. So, anyways, coming back, this was the project that we made in our last live. This live is available on Craft Angle's Instagram page, where how we created this card and how we made this particular art journal page. Okay. So for today, I thought let us do a mixed media art journal because a lot of you have been liking it. So for those of you who follow me already know that this is my mixed media art journal page. It's quite bulky because it's mixed media. So I thought let's make a project here today. And we'll be doing something similar to this, but very different. So butterflies will be the focal point because we all love butterflies. And then we'll do some different techniques on top of it. Okay, so I'll just get a blank page. Okay. And I will need gesso. So here is the gesso that I have. We'll be using clear and white gesso. So first things first is to prep my paper. So before even doing that, hi Vaishali. So before even doing that, I plan to first create a background. So I want to create a colorful background, and then on top of it, I'll do gesso and stamping and stenciling and all that good stuff. So the first things first, for background, what I have decided is to use these sticker rolls to create the background. Yes, Paru, this is from our starter collection. So in one starter collection pack, you get one white, one black, and one clear. So this is especially good for, you know, if you're a beginner and if you want to try out how is black just so different, white just so different, and clear just so different, this is perfect for it. And this is something that we launched last release. So I'll be using those. And to create the background, I'll be using these sticker rolls. So these are the warm tones and these are the cool tones that I'll be using. So on one page, I'll be using the cool tones and on one page, I'll be using the warm tones. I'll just get my scissors. Yes, yes. So a lot of you, had queries on how to use these stickers. So I thought what better way than to make an art journal and show you guys, right? So I'm just randomly cutting out sheets. Okay. I'm taking multiple sheets together so that it can go quicker. And again, I'm eyeballing the size. I'm not being very particular about it because this is just going to create background for our base. Hi, Garima. Okay. Next, we'll be using these, which are the warm tones. Again, I'll cut all of them together. I think 5 is a tight fit. Let's do 4. So that's it. That is all we need to create the backgrounds. Okay. So now quickly what I'll do is I'll take my knife and I'll start sticking these to create a random pattern. Again, with art journaling, the idea is that you don't put a lot of thought process. You enjoy the actual process of creating. And that is exactly what I'll be doing. So you can see I'm just randomly started sticking stuff here and there just to create some colorful pattern. Okay. And this paper is not yet gessoed. We will be gessoing it later on after we stick this. Yes, you can die cut these stickers also. Hi, Firdausi. You can die cut butterflies, circles, rectangles, hearts out of them and then use on the art journal. They'll make beautiful die cuts as well. The only rule that I'm following while applying is that no two are applied in the same place, and I'm not repeating the colors nearby. Like I'm not using two teals next to each other, I'm not using two purples next to each other. That's the only rule I'm following. And I'll keep the corners, like the top corner and the bottom corner, a little bit empty because I plan to do some doodling in that area. So, guys, how are summer vacations going on? Are you guys enjoying summer vacations or not? How is it going? Any plans for holidays? Yeah, you can also tear them, like tearing would have made a very interesting pattern, but I wanted to create a controlled background. That is why, I created rectangles. Hi, Shraddha, long trip. Wow, I'm I'm jealous. So, Shraddha, where are you going? Thank you, Mona Lisa. Yes, the vibrance was the whole idea. I wanted to create a colorful page and then we'll play with more colors if you imagine this is not enough. Sikkim, wow. Wow. I want to go to Sikkim. Sikkim is a nice place. Definitely. So anybody else going on a long vacation? Okay, so I'm happy with how the right side of the page looks. Now I'll move on to the left doing the same process. Thank you, Vaishali. Yes, yes. The idea was to, just add some colors and play with the background. And I really wanted to show you guys how these ombre, these sticker rolls look. They are very colorful and pretty and very versatile. Hi, Shraddha. So this live, we normally now do live once a week where we create a project. Last week we created one card and using the leftovers from those cards, we created one art journal. In this particular live, what we are doing is we are creating a mixed media art journal page. So every week on Craft Angles, YouTube and Facebook or Instagram, depending on where we plan the live, we come live once a week and make projects and do some crafty chit chat. If you have any queries in terms of Craft Angles products or any challenges like how Ekta had, you can drop us you can ask your query here and I'll be happy to answer your queries. In case I miss them while making projects, you can definitely DM me or, Craft Angles separately, and we'll be happy to answer your queries there as well. But bottom line, today we are making a mixed media art journal page. So it may not look much right now because it's just paper, but wait for it. At the end, we are going to transform it completely. Thank you, Paru. You're too kind always. I am using a craft knife. So on all my videos, Ekta, there will be most of my videos I use this tool. This is called craft knife. It is available on our website. If you open any of my videos on YouTube, you will see a link to the product. So just search craft knife or knife on our website and you'll be able to find it. What this does is it helps me remove the stickers easily because unfortunately I don't have nails. It's a bad habit of mine. So now I think our pages are filled up quite a lot, and I'll keep these extras aside for a next project. And what we'll now do is we'll start prepping our base. Now, since I plan to do some stamping and stenciling on top of this, it makes sense for me to do gesso because we don't want the colors to spill over on the next page. Okay. It's already colorful for other project, but just so that we don't want our colors to spill on the next page, we will gesso our surface. Gesso is a primer which you should always use, especially if you are doing your mixed media projects or even when you are doing resin, decoupage, paintings, etc. So consider it as a primer which will not soak in your supplies. So let's say if you are applying resin on top of a MDF, plain MDF, right? If you don't gesso on top of it, your resin will get soaked up into the MDF. Same thing happens with your paint if you don't gesso your canvases. So I'm using these two colors of gesso. I'll be mixing them. The color that I'm using is white and clear because I don't want a uniform coverage. In some area, I want it more white. In some area, I want more clear. So that will give me more depth automatically without putting any effort. Hi, Firdausi. Thank you, Parvati. So here I'm taking some white, okay, in my brush, and I'm just randomly putting in strokes. Okay. And I'll be covering both the pages together. And now what I'll do is maximum blending I'll do with clear gesso. So what this will do is automatically you can see it is kind of diluting the white color. And that is what we want because we don't want our designs to, disappear. We don't want to put an opaque layer of white on top of it. There are any air bubbles left while sticking, you can definitely remove them with a brush, like how I'm doing here. So that was the right page, and now here we are moving to the left page. Again, following the same concept, taking more of clear and applying a coat of gesso and just adding teeny tiny bit of white wherever, I feel like the colors are very dark. And we are done. Hi, Craving Crafts. I was thinking, how come you are late today? I think of you when I think of journaling videos. So I'll just try this out, guys, quickly. Yay! I hope you enjoy making something out of them. So now that we are ready with the base, let's do some background creation. Okay, so the easiest way to create backgrounds is to first of all add these kind of papers. So what they'll do is, this is called as collage technique. So we have kind of added bits and pieces of paper here and there to create interest on our page. And second thing that we'll be doing is adding stamping on top of it. Okay, so I'll be using all mixed media stamps by Craftangle. So this is called as script, this is called as musical notes, and this is called as old newspaper. So all of these are very old releases, but some of my favorites till date. And then I'll be also using some mixed media stencils. So this is number, so all both of these are mixed media stencils by Craftangle. So this is number 146 and number 147. If you search on the website, you'll be able to find the code for this. Sorry, the name for this. And since I want my background to be waterproof, I am using my favorite ink pad, which is Versafine Onyx Black. Now, this is my favorite black go-to ink pad. Whether you are a decoupage artist, a stamping artist, who likes to make cards, or even if you are an art journal, or even if you are a mixed media artist, this is a bit expensive ink pad. So you get this in a big size and a small size. I have both, but right now I cannot see the small one. But anyways, you get both the sizes and both of them are available on our website. But these are like, I cannot stress this enough, this is a very good quality ink. It will last you years, even though it's a bit more expensive than your other brand ink pad. Thank you, Aishali. So, Mona Lisa, my favorite ones are script and newspaper. Same here, same here. They are very versatile. So I'll just get them ready for stamping. Now, since we are doing art journaling and I don't want perfect stamping to be done, what I'm doing is I'll directly stamp them using the packaging itself. I'm not going to use an acrylic block or anything. Okay, I'll just take an ink pad and start stamping. Again, I'm not going to be super precise. I'm just going to stamp here and there to create patterns, that because that's the whole idea. Somewhere I'm going to go vertical and somewhere I'm going to go horizontal. Okay. And always with my leftovers, what I do is I apply them on next pages so that in future I can use them. So Vaishali, honestly, I Ranger one is what a lot of people use in India, but personally, I cannot recommend that because I love this one. I have had Ranger as well, archival ink pads, but I like this more than Ranger one. So personally, for me, this is my favorite Versafine Onyx Black. But let's say if you are into market looking for another popular options, there is Ranger Archival, then there is Momento Tuxedo Black, which is also very popular. It's by the same company as Tusi Kenko. This Versafine and Momento are by same company. That's also a good option. And that is a Copic friendly ink. So if you are into doing Copic coloring and stuff like that, then you can definitely invest in Momento inks. Okay. Then I'll use my script. Welcome. So now I'm quite happy. I feel there is certain areas left. Need some stamping here. Okay. Rest I'm happy with how this is turning out. Okay. Let's stamp on the next page. So nothing goes to waste. So just to show you, right? So this is again some leftover paint from one of my previous project, and I have done some stamping here. So this page is already quite ready for some simple journaling. So all I have to do over here is do some doodling, put some stickers, and I can call this page done. So never throw away your extras, be it watercolors or such kind of stamping or such kind of stenciling. Always use it on another page. And like I have a lot of these pages that I'll later on just fill in. Since I wanted to show you a project from ground up, I have selected a plain page. Normally I use these kind of colored pages as my background. Thank you, Craving Crafts. So I'll just dry this again. Now, another question we get is why should I do gesso on mixed media? So let me show you why, right? So for those of you who missed out, this was the page we did in our last live. And here I did some stamping. Now this page was not gesso. So if you see in the back, like the color is overpowering, but do you see some stamping impression here in the back? That has happened because we did not do any gesso on our page. So, kind of impressions have come in the back. Now, personally, since this is art journal, it does not matter to me. I'll be able to use this paper, for another project. But just to show you guys that now that we have done here so much stamping, you will see there is nothing that has come on the back. This is what we did stamping right now, right? There is no overlap. Nothing has flowed down to the back. That is because we have used gesso as a primer for our page. So never forget that. So now that we are happy with how this looks, let's move on to the next part, which is to do some stenciling. Okay. So these are the two stencils that I'll be using. First, I'll start with this. Okay. I'll get my palette knife out. So this is my palette knife, and again I'll use starter pack for this. So this is a starter pack for texture paste, same as a starter pack for gesso. So here you get small packing of 50 ml of white, black and clear texture paste. So if you are new to art journaling or any other media and you want to try out different texture paste, then this should be your go-to product. So I'll be using clear and white. Okay. Thank you, Mona Lisa. Yes, our white gesso and white texture paste is crowd favorite, and that is why we have removed them in smaller packing for trial packs for people to try out. And here you will be able to see the consistency of the product, etc. So I'll start off with now. These kind of mixed media stencils are perfect because you can see I have flourishes in this. I have chevron pattern. I have script pattern. So, you get multiple things that you can use across your art journaling. So where are these pages used? Shraddha, so there is no use as such of this page. This is like your artist version of diary. So for those of you who like to write diaries, you write diaries and like there is no use of it, right? You write it for your happiness and fun and to learn new techniques, etc. So that is exactly what you use art journaling for. Many people try out different techniques on these before actually making bigger projects, and many people just do it for fun and meditation. So it depends on what is your need to do art journaling. So here I'm applying some white texture paste. I'm trying to cover everything from flourish to script to chevron, just so that it will give my page a lot of interest. And here I am using white texture paste. Okay. So here you can see how beautifully the pattern has come. Don't worry, we'll be accentuating the pattern further with some colors. So that will be our next step. Thank you, Nipa. Yes, that was the idea, so that beginners can try out new stuff. Now, I think I'll just use this one stencil itself. It has a lot of patterns in it. I'll not use the other one. Other one I'll show you in next project probably. Now I have switched on to clear texture paste, just so that we'll get a different effect when we are using clear texture paste, and we'll get a different effect when you are using white texture paste. So we are playing with different effects, and that is what you will see once I start putting colors. And you can see how easy the application is. It is like super smooth. It is actually like cream. Right, right. See, Paro told the name. It's Vintage Ledger. I had forgotten the name. Honestly, all mixed media ones are my favorite, but I understand what you say. This has a lot of patterns, so it is a crowd favorite, especially for mixed media artists. Okay, now I'll put my stencil in a pot of water, which I have next to me. I always keep that pot of water so that the space do not dry on top of my stencil. So now I'll close this off and we will dry the page. So already you can see, just by doing these 3 steps, our page already looks full, and it looks quite old. Like there has been things done on top of it and it looks like an old journal page. So that was the idea. Yeah. Now we'll dry our page. So sorry, I'll have to start the heating tool. Mhm. Now, this is another tip for you all. Like, if you're heating your texture paste and stuff like that with your heating tool, this is a very powerful tool and it, throws a lot of heat. So make sure that you rotate your heating tool, never keep it at one area for too long or your paste will start bubbling up and it may even brown your paper. So that means your paper is heating too much. So don't do that, keep on moving your heating tool. Thank you, Craving Crafts. Yes, yes. I have also started journaling while I travel using these stickers, so I know what you mean. So now, next thing that we'll be doing is adding some colors. So here is the color palette that I have selected. So for this page, I'm going to use the same shades of colors, which is yellow and red. So this is my yellow and red. And then on this page, I'm going to use again same shades of colors, which is blue and green. So these are the colors that I'll be using, which is Poolside and Evergreen. So these are Craftangles liquid watercolors. And the color here that I'll be using is Soulmate and Lemon Tart. And this is red and yellow. And then just to add some accents here and there, I'll use our Blackberry, which is the black watercolor. So these are all the colors. I'll just take a brush. Okay, I'll take some water and brush. Now this is just I think Camlin, okay, Faber-Castell brush that I'm using, nothing like very artistic or expensive brush. Thank you, Neha. So first things first, I'll start on the right page. Okay, now you can see how concentrated these colors are. I'm adding just water and just diluting a little bit of them. So remember that these colors are extremely vibrant. So even this one drop of liquid watercolor will go you a long way. And while applying, just remember that don't directly, use the colors. And now I'll just start dropping colors. Again, I am not being super precise. You can see I'm dropping colors wherever I like. And then you'll see that I'm mixing colors as well. So this is again a very therapeutic art form, where you don't have to kind of be perfectionist about your art. Like if you are a card maker or a mixed media artist, you would relate to what I'm saying, that whenever we are making a bigger canvas for customers, or whenever we are making bigger canvases for our projects, we always want it to be beautiful and picture perfect, right? But with art journal, it is like your personal diary, so you don't have to be extremely precise about it, and that is why it is such a popular art form, because there are no expectations. So now here you'll be able to see that where I'm mixing this blue and green, right, it is forming this beautiful teal color. So that is again beauty of Craftangles liquid watercolors. They're extremely blendable by nature. So if you are using your colors properly, like in terms of if you are doing a color chart and you are selecting your colors in such a way that they don't muddy each other, then you will get some beautiful colors out of them. Now you can see I started off with lighter colors and now I'm increasing my tonal value. What do I mean by tonal value is I'm increasing the intensity of my colors. Like I'm mixing more color and less water. So if you are using Craftangles liquid watercolors, I highly would suggest that you start like that. Because if you directly go with the original value of these colors, they are so powerful that you may end up with a lot of colors than you intended on your project. Yeah. That's it. On the corners, I'm not adding a lot of colors because I want to keep my corner a bit more whitish. Now we'll move on to the left page. And here I'll be using yellows and reds. Yeah. Taking a lot of water and blending it out. If you know any of your friend who would like to see the project and who loves art journaling, you can definitely tag them. Now, with watercolors, the best part is that they are very forgiving. So, let's say if like here, for example, I put in more color, right? If I don't want this much color, I can always wet it with water and spread it across. Okay, so that is one way in which you can reduce the intensity of your colors. The other way is you can always use a tissue paper. So, this is just a regular tissue paper, and I can dab in the areas where I don't want colors to spread, and then I can blend out the pending color, whatever remaining color has been left. So that way, the intensity reduces drastically over here, that you can see. Another way is, let's say, if in certain areas you had less color as compared to other areas. Like, for example, here I can see that, there is not a lot of green. Then you can definitely go back with another layer. And since these are transparent colors, as soon as they touch the lower layer of watercolor, they will reactivate. And it will again do its blending and everything. All the nice stuff that watercolor does, it will do everything. I agree, Craving Crafts. We should plan that, I think. We can do one like a Zoom session, or Facebook group kind of a thing, where you can also do, and then you can post the projects that you made. It will be fun. Then I'm just blending out the corners. Okay. Now in the center, a lot of water has pooled in. So I'll just soften all that water. Okay. And then I'll dry this page now. I think there is a lot of color here. So this is how it looks. I was drying some layers of liquid watercolors. And now again, if at this point of time you feel that there is, less color, you can definitely add more. If you think there is more color, just go with a wet wipe or a wet towel, or, just drop in some water and pick in the color using a tissue. So that is what I'm doing in certain areas. So here you can see, how that stenciling, whatever we have done on top of it, we have added watercolor. So it has kind of created its own pattern. So this is like embossing where your texture paste will resist the colors. And that is why you don't see a color on top of it, but surrounding it, you will see colors. So that is how you create this pattern. Now, another thing I'll do is I'll add a little bit of black. A little bit, huh? So be extremely careful. Don't add a lot. Like black is an extremely powerful color. So be extremely light. Like, you can always go back and add more. Now, since we are using watercolors, what is black doing is it is kind of reactivating the lower layer of colors and creating the darker version of same color. So what happens is wherever I have used green, it will react with green and create a darker green. And wherever I have used blue, it will react with blue and create a darker layer of blue. This is another way in which, you can, using just one color, you can make many colors. So anyways, guys, I think those were the only people who were going. So only Shraddha is going on vacation. How come others are not going on vacation? It's May. So school should be off right now, I feel. Okay. So just to, oh, where are you going, Craving Crafts? Mahi has till 23rd. Suppose that, are you planning, Parvati? So this is, do you see how, the paste has resisted the color, and in the corners you can see more darker version of red. And same here, you should be able to see how beautifully, a textured pattern it has created. Now this was not dry while I started applying colors. So it has automatically taken whatever color I have added on top of it. So honestly, I did not know this. So this is a very cool technique that I learned while doing art journaling. That, if your texture paste is wet and if you drop watercolor on top of it, your paste will dry with that color. And then you can remove the excess of watercolors and it will give you that colored texture paste look. So how cool is that? Now, I did not know this. I used to always make my own before applying, but you could definitely do this. Cool, Mona Lisa. So are you going on vacation? Here also vacation has started. So many of my friends are going on vacation since the schools are off now. No. You are in same boat as me. I am also not going anywhere this year. So don't worry, I'll be keeping you company with my lives. So what I'll do next is I'll take some gesso, and I'm using white gesso, and I'm just going to apply it randomly in certain areas so as to make it a little bit less colorful, because I want to not have everything in a similar intensity of color. So before that, let me dry some more. I can see some color here and there. which is yet wet. Now we'll take in some white gesso. This is just white gesso that I'm using, and I am going to apply. Now remember, white gesso is also water based. So it is going to react with whatever you have below it. So it is going to react with green and blue colors and create a lighter version of that color. But this will dry permanent. So you can see in certain areas I am adding and in certain areas I'm not adding. So what this will do is it will create a different depth on my project. And I'm going with a very light hand. I'm not going with a very harsh hand because I don't want my gesso to mix a lot with my colors. So you can see I'm just kind of brushing the paint, sorry, the gesso. Yeah. I'm going with a little quantity here and there. Now here I feel that, blue has kind of gotten lost. So I'll add some blue. Now do you see how that blue is mixing with gesso and creating like a pastel blue color? That's going to give you another effect. And now I'll completely dry this first. Okay. Now I think blue is kind of lost, so I'll add more blue here and there. And now since the lower level has dried up and it was gesso, so it is acrylic, right? So now my blue is not going to mix in areas where there was already gesso added. So remember, acrylic versus watercolor. Always remember and play accordingly. And since this blue is transparent on top of the green plus gesso that we did, I can see through both the green and the blue layers. So that adds, another depth to your project. Now we'll do the same thing on the left project. Yes, so it looks like summer and winter, yeah. Warm tones and cool tones. So I will do the same thing here. Before applying every layer, wash your brush because your gesso is going to be contaminated with the colors, the watercolors that are below it. And dry your brush because we don't want to put a wet brush in gesso because I want concentrated gesso to be applied, right? So I'm drying my brush and then I'm just taking a little bit of gesso and I'm going to apply it here and there. And that's it. We will dry this page now. Yeah. Now, again, the same thing. If you feel that, certain colors have kind of lessened up, you can definitely add some more here and there. I have added some yellows over here. And I will add some red over here. Now this can be a repetitive process, like you can do as much of it as you want, as less of it as you want. It honestly depends on what is your style. The whole idea is to have fun with it, and do it till you are happy with how the colors are being layered on each other. And try this, and I think that is it. Yeah. I will add some more color over here. Now, you may think that, this is a repetitive process and it's just a waste of time. But trust me, guys, if you actually hold an art journal page in hand, you will see the layers and layers of depth that we have created using these techniques. That's it. Now we'll move on to creating the focal point. Yeah, I'll try this once again. Mm, okay. So while this dries, let us talk about focal points, right? So, right, Parvati. Because people who do journaling a lot will know, what I'm talking about. So, see, Parvati is agreeing to what I'm saying. So, the whole idea is to create, focal points for your project. Now, that focal point can be an old picture of you, like, how I have done over here. So, these are paper dolls by Tim Holtz that I have used as focal point. It can be just a picture that, you got online. So, this is one such picture. And it could be, these are prima vintage photos that I have used. We also have craft angles, vintage ladies, and mugshots, which are comparatively, the latest release. So this is a mugshot which I have used as a focal point. This is another picture. Then this is from craft angle sticker. So you can definitely play around, and here is the vintage ladies. So you can play around with different focal point on your project. There is not a fixed thing that you can use. However, things like butterflies, flowers, old people's photos, or your own pictures, those are like the most common thing that you can use, right? So butterflies are a no-brainer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some butterflies today. So as you can see, I have already cut out some butterflies and kept them ready. So these are the butterflies that I'll be using. Now, this comes from a Craft Angles element pack called Monochrome Butterflies. So, in one pack, you have three A4 sheets. All of them contain different designs of butterflies, and then they are repeated in the complete A4 sheet. So, as you can see, I've already used them a lot, and I've already fussy cut them using my scissors and kept them ready. So, this is the scissor that I use for my fussy cutting. And what next I'll be using is, I have not yet decided on the sentiment that I want to use. So I may use transparent stickers, which now I may not use because my background is quite colorful. So they are out of question. So I will use these sentiment sheets. So now since my butterflies are black, I will be doing the white sentiment. So the journal words one and creative sentiments one is what I plan to use. So that will come later on. Yes, vintage roses would also go, like flowers will go beautifully again, because this is quite floral and stuff like that. So, yes, I was planning to play with contrast since our background is so colorful. So, now what I'll do is I will start off building my page. Now, if there is any color left which is not yet dried, I will simply use a tissue and dry it off. Okay. And yeah, before I, start sticking my butterflies, I love splatters in my project. So I will add splatters beforehand. I'm using some black splatters. Okay. And immediately you can see, splatters make a difference. It somehow adds more vintage depth, or, just some more point of interest, I feel, but it makes a huge difference. So now I'll dry this off. As you could have already seen, we did like 4 or 5 layers of colors with this particular page, right? We almost did like 4 or 5 layers, and you can see there is nothing that has come in the back. So that depends on the quality of diary that you are using and whether you have gessoed your page or not. So remember, if you are a mixed media artist, always gesso your base. Thank you, Mona Lisa. So now we'll create, but using these butterflies, we'll create a focal point. So let's play with butterflies. I really love this particular one. It looks very nice, bold. Here I'll use this one. And then I want to use small one. Like I am going to create a cluster of 3, and I will use like this thin one. Okay. Okay. And here I will use, okay, same one. And I'll use this one and this one. And we will use this one. Yeah. So that is what we'll be using. And then, we'll decide on the sentiments, etc. So I will use some glue to stick my butterflies. Since this is paper on paper, I could easily use Fevicol. It will work beautifully. But if you are doing like a canvas or stuff like that, or acetate, then you'll have to use like tacky glue or something like that. So I'll kind of eyeball the center of my page. And then so this is how they look. Again, I have kind of eyeballed it, I'm not being perfectionist on whether, they are properly spaced out, etc. Just going with the flow. Yeah. So those are our butterflies. Now we'll do some doodling. So that, just to add some more interest and some black onto our page, Now, if you're not good at doodling, you could definitely, use stamps for it. I like to doodle now and then. It makes my page more personalized. So I will do that. For doodling, I'm just using a regular black pen. This is cello black pen. And I have these stencils that you get in any stationery store. So I'll use those. Okay. So immediately you can see, it creates more pattern and it kind of alleviates your paper design to another level. And you can do anything, like you can do some circles, you can do some triangles. Uh, I'm sure Parvati will be able to do it, yeah. So you can see this is how it looks. We will add some doodling over here as well. नहीं नहीं इसी जन्म में कर लोगे यार. Okay. So here we will add some more. Mm. So yeah, this is how it looks. It just added that subtle pattern on top of your project using just, everyday things that you would already buy from a local stationery store, etc. If you have kids, they might already have it. Next thing is I will be choosing sentiment. So for that, let me remove the sheets. So these are sentiment sheets by Craftangle. In one pack, you get two sheets. One is black and one is white. So, you can select whichever makes sense on your project, be it black or white. So first, I will select the coat. Okay. Bro, I would like to use Broken Colors Still Create. Still color, broken crayons, still color. And I paint my dream. And for the journal words, we'll first select the sentiment and then we'll move on to journal words. So now I think black will look nicer. So I'll probably go with black. So I'll quickly cut off. This is the best part of having sentiment sheets is that they are easy to, use. Where did my sentiment go? Broken color crayons. It's right here. I'll cut out thin strips. Making sure I stay straight while cutting. Thank you, Mona Lisa. Yes, black, 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 black. Then here I'll do let your art out. I changed my mind. That happens a lot with my sentiments. I change my mind here and there. So this particular one says let your art out. And this one says broken color, broken crayons, still color. Personally, one of my favorite quote. So I'll use this here and I'll use this here. Or I could also do like this. Yeah, I think I'll do like this. This would be fun. And then I will use the sentiment over here. Again, eyeballing the center, not being super precise. Okay. And then I'll be using some journaling words. Okay. So here are the one. And based on the quote, I'll select two more words. So like broken color, still color. So for that, I'll use one which is courage. On this page, I'll use courage and I will use beauty. Yeah. So here I'll be using courage and beauty on this particular page. And on the next page, we have let your art out. So we will use this explore creativity. That I think kind of resonates with let your art out. So I'll use those two words. So, using these journal words and journal words, sentiment sheets and stickers, you can actually make your own sentiment which resonates to you and your page. That is why I love this journaling words so much. So here I'll use explore and creativity. Okay. And here I'll use beauty and courage. Use this beauty here. And we will use this courage word here. Yeah. I think I'll use here because those butterflies are small, they will kind of be hidden. So and this will be creativity and explore. So this is how it will look. Courage over here. Beauty. Explore. And creativity. So yes, I think that will complete my page. So this is how it looks both side. One is more cool tones, one is more warm tones, you should be able to see this pattern that we created underneath using the sticker rolls. You should be able to see the stamping that we have done in the background. Then we did some gesso on top of it to make it more opaque. Again, you could be able to see all those stenciling that we did, right? So each and every layer that we created, it creates a different depth. Now, if I have to zoom in, you'll be able to see it better. So for example, here you can see stamping below the stenciling. On top of it, you can see different colors. Then we lifted some colors over here. So it kind of created that contrast. Over here, you can see the paper below it. This is the level of layer of stenciling that we did, right? Sorry, stamping that we did. This is some doodling which is very evident since it was done on the top. Same thing happens over here. So, don't think that, a particular layer will not add interest to your project. Each and every layer which you built up, once you zoom in and see all those layers, you'll be able to see all those layers. So that was the project for today, guys. Next week, we will be doing two lives. So the first live is going to be decoupage. So I'm going to mix some mixed media stuff and decoupage to create a project for you all. And hello, I'm back. So we will be doing that decoupage project, and that will be on Wednesday mostly. I think it will be on Wednesday. We will schedule the same, for you all once we finalize. And on Saturday, we will have another live with Paro. So Paro will have a project for you all, which she will be making. So I also don't know what that project is going to be. It's going to be completely fun, I'm sure, knowing Paro. And thank you, Parvati. I went 15 minutes beyond my timeline, but I hope you guys enjoyed the process. And yeah, I was able to make what I had in my mind. So I hope you enjoyed the art journaling process. Next week we'll be back with a decoupage project for you all. It's just some change of pace. And on Saturday we'll be back with another mixed media or art journal project for you, depending on what Parvati decides to make for you all. So next week, for a change, I'll be seeing you all live for 2 days. And I hope you're enjoying these live sessions because we plan to do more of these, going forward. And Nipa, thank you so much. I do plan to make more such pages online because I know a lot of you are enjoying the video tutorials. So I do plan to do some live so that you can ask any questions if you have. So please keep use this to ask any questions if you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. Before all, once tell what products you'll use so that we'll be ready with them. Okay. Okay, let's do that then. I do have a sample of the next live. So let me just, where did it go? My table may look clean to you all right now, but it is a mess. Give me a moment. I'll just search. Yeah, it is here. Okay. I'm sure Paro will have clue by Saturday morning. Okay. So next week, just to have a change of pace, we'll not do art journaling. If you guys want, we'll again do art journaling next to next week. So do let me know. Next week, we are going to make this coaster. So this is where I have combined like a couple of products to create this coaster. It is very easy. So even if you are new to decoupage, you will be able to make this coaster. And also I am going to use transfer it. So this pattern is using transfer it on top of decoupage. Now here I'm going to share a lot of tips and tricks with you all because I know a lot of you have issues like first time customers. A lot of us who are doing decoupage napkin and transfer it, especially for the first time, they have a lot of queries. Like how will it work on a dark surface? How will it work on a light surface? I get wrinkles on my transfer it. How do I avoid doing that? How do I get it placed perfectly, etc., etc.? So what I have decided is I am trying to make a coaster for you all. So this is the coaster. Even though it's just a coaster, it is going to be packed with a lot of techniques. And again, I'm showing you transfer it because I know a lot of you use transfer it not just on decoupage. Like here itself, I have used transfer it on my art journal page. So this is transfer it. So as you can see here, there are a lot of wrinkles, right? And here there are none. So we will talk about how to control the water amount, how to create that perfect transfer look, etc. And how, we can add different things that are available in craft angles just to make your decoupage project even a step further. So this is the project that we'll be making next week on Wednesday. And yeah, Paros, we will know like when she decides. But I'm sure it's going to be fun. It's going to be surprise. So that was the live for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, your Friday, and I hope I was able to give you some knowledge and some sharing of knowledge, and even I learned something new through this art journal page today. So yeah, that was what the live was all about. I will see you in my next live, guys. Till then, take care. Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you, Craving Crafts.